next we have coming up, pioneering the ways consumers engage with brands through NFTs. I'm happy to say that we have the CEO of Mojito, and her name is Raakhee Miller. Please give her a warm round of applause.
Mic check. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Raakhee Miller. I'm the CEO of Mojito, and we are an infrastructure platform for minting and commerce on NFTs. So you see Web 2.5 there, not a mistake. Web 3 is where we want to go, and Web 2.5 is how brands will get the adoption into Web 3. So I'm going to walk you through how we think about this massive implosion into Web 3. A little bit about myself, Raakhee, and I spent a lot of my time in traditional finance, building products and technology. Never would I thought that I would have been here talking to you guys about Web 3 and running this company now. And I think that in my 20 long years of working, I've seen a progressive democratization of access and to financial instruments, and now with Web3, that's essentially the paradigm shift that's going to change everything. Well, that's at least our belief, and I hope you believe that too. So what is Web3? The internet owned by creators, right? That's what we want to be building. What our vision for Web3 is an internet where the wallet is going to be your authenticator. So your identity is going to be tied to your wallet, where crypto is the new money. NFTs is going to be the new form of ownership. Social tokens will be the new loyalty points. And the ability to be composable makes the creative level just skyrocket. So there's infinite creativity because everything is composable. So how many of you have heard NFTs, just a JPEG, right? I don't know how many. Yes, my 10-year-old, when I told her this is what my company does, she's like, but isn't that just a picture? Like, what does that mean? So what does that mean? It's all about provenance, and it's all about verifiable ownership. Now, humor me here, just little thought experiment. What if you were the only person in the world? And that's it, just you and a whole bunch of stuff. Would you own everything, or would you own nothing? It's an interesting thought experiment, and the reason why that's so difficult to really pin down is, what does ownership even mean? What gives ownership value? And what gives ownership value is community. It's other people along with you that gives owning something value. So what we're building here is a platform for commerce, engagement, and community. And this is the flywheel that is going to power the next generation for brands. And ownership is at the heart of it. So some Web3 market insights. I'm sure this conference here is bringing people from all walks. About 100 million folks own crypto right now. 41 billion was spent on NFTs in just 2021, and OpenSea sales rose by 40%, just month over month. But the market is so small. About 0.005% of the population owns NFT. That's about 400,000 wallets. If you divide that by 5, as most people have, at least 5 wallets to hold, diversify their holdings, you're talking about a very, very small subset. And 41 billion Americans cannot explain NFT to you. That's a typo. So it's 1 in 4 Americans could probably explain to you what an NFT is. So what does this mean? We're here, we're talking about Web3, it's going to be the future, but where's this engagement? Where are the people? And it's with the brands. The brands are where everything is. Of course, with every new tech, there's skepticism. It's bullshit, it's just, it's a fraud, it's a scam, it's a money grab. And there's been projects that have been that. For Mojito, we powered the Sotheby's Metaverse. And we've had tremendous success taking a 300-year-old auction house into the future. And it's been a very interesting ride. Oh, sorry. And now we're at the bear market, and what happens? So, it's obviously stressful sometimes when you're in this industry and there's this market fluctuation going on. But our belief is that in this market, the builders will build, and all of the projects that really are not well-intentioned or are not really representing what this movement into Web3 is about are going to fail, and the strong ones will survive. So that's at least kind of our belief system. The first wave was PFPs and digital art. The second wave is going to be playable game characters, deeds for physical goods. NFTs are making their way into traditional finance as a means for holding verifiable documents on chain. So there's a lot of very interesting use cases coming up in the second wave, and the companies that survive this are going to be the future of what we do in this space. So amidst all of this chaos, there's been so many brands that have entered the NFT space. This is an example of a few. We heard about Adidas, Prada, McDonald's, you name it, within the luxury goods, sporting, cars, etc. And it's been exciting, but we're still so early. And these companies that are pioneering these use cases, when Instagram came out, it was selfie for food, but now it's the most, it's the way that brands engage their communities the most with Instagram. And NFTs basically are going to be evolving from PFPs into more utility. So with NFTs, brands can create amazing programs that can benefit their constituents. So, for example, Time Magazine did the timepieces that they launched, which is appreciated 250% since it's minted, and it gave a token-gated access to specific content, and that's been very successful. So, in media, this is a very interesting use case. Lyrical Lemonade is a Gen Z brand that hosts music festivals and puts out curated music. They have about 15 million followers on YouTube, and they basically took over their own creative license, created an NFT program, and just had a really amazing concert in Chicago, I think last week. Companies like Blockbar, who issued NFTs as deeds, so you could purchase the NFT and redeem them for physical goods like a bottle of whiskey. This is a very interesting use case, and one of the things that Mojito is working on is this idea of a digital twin and redeeming your NFTs for physical goods that are hard to move. So from a logistical perspective, when you go to Sotheby's and you want to purchase a Degas, it's hard to move it, it's hard to store it, and that goes for a lot of very valuable and interesting merchandise that you don't want to be shipping around. So NFTs could be a very interesting use case to actually help commerce and help make something that is a illiquid market into a liquid market. And then finally, with NFTs, I think one of the things that we've seen in the recent months is user engagement in IRL settings. So for the Milwaukee Bucks, we launched a program with them whereby they gave 250 of their most engaged fans access to VIP areas around the Deer District, which is their area around the game. So this was done for the playoffs. It was a huge success, and many of these folks, these fans, they've never heard of MetaMask. They probably didn't even know they're getting an NFT. What they saw was a wave that their beloved team is engaging with them, giving them access to this NFT, which now has secondary market value, and they're able to also get perks. But the kicker is they can also go in a liquid market, sell it to somebody else. So NFTs are the future of brand engagement. That is, we're seeing brands come in. There's a lot of very cool experimentation going on. For those of us that are in this industry now building stuff, it's super cool, very fun, except for the parts where you have to talk to compliance and legal and figure out all of that. But getting there is hard. And we saw all of those brands, those amazing brands that are doing this. They're the innovators, and now the early adopters are coming. Since we're a B2B company, we work primarily with enterprises, and we feel that chasm quite deeply because there's a lot of education to do. There's a lot of misnomers around cryptocurrency that gets transferred over to NFTs, dealings, custodying. So there's a lot of real world issues with enterprises getting into it, and we're still early. So this is where, going back to our original Web 2.5, what that means. This is our belief that in order to get to that mass adoption, it's baby steps. It's getting there. It's giving people and enterprises and brands a way to get to that step without completely doing a 180, whether it's on their risk appetite, whether it's building out new technology. So this is kind of where the tenets of Web 2.5 is. What does it really mean? It means a seamless buying experience. Users don't want to know what gas fees are. They don't want to pay it. They want to be able to get into a relationship with a brand through credit cards or crypto. They want to be able to log in through their email or a wallet. So these choices are important, and it's important to progressively introduce new ways of interacting with the brand over time. If you add that plus the authentic Web3 digital goods and everything that it gives you, like verifiable ownership, tradability, liquidity, and this shared upside. So this is what we think Web 2.5 is going to do for Web3. It's it makes it so buying an NFT or engaging with an NFT, buying a ticket is as easy as buying your favorite pair of sneakers. So in the space right now, there's massive opportunity for brands and development teams. I'm sure many of you have seen these amazing showcases. There's so many new things I've learned just walking around today. There's opportunities on semi-custodial wallets where consumers might not want to go fully a non-custodial route. So that's an interesting area. Seamless payments and royalty management. White labeling, mint stores. We see brands more and more going into their own branded content and leveraging the relationship they have with their consumers on their websites or their mobile apps and creating more curated marketplaces. I think there will be many marketplaces like OpenSea and others, but at least where we're seeing brands engage is they want to have that direct relationship with their audience, and that's really the benefit, because that's the flywheel that allows now your audience to engage with you and really increase the value of that entire ecosystem. White glove services to navigate compliance and legal problems. So this is a great time if you're a lawyer. And if you're getting into Web3 or are even in crypto, it's amazing the amount of work and the very few firms out there that are actually legitimate and know what they're talking about. And finally, the adoption here is easy to use APIs. So this is a remnant of our Web 2 infrastructure, and again part of our path towards Web 3. So there it is. Web 2.5 is the path to Web 3 adoption. One brand, one NFT, and one consumer at a time. So a little bit about Mojito. I have to plug it a little. Oh, I don't. Okay, thank you.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Raakhee.